Well, those who didn't look at your calendar this morning, May 1st is Law Day. Now, it's a day to recognize the role that law plays in protecting our freedoms and maintaining justice in our society. It's important to know those rights and liberties that we all share as Americans. Joining us today is Micha Star Liberty, founder of Liberty Law, to talk about why the rule of law matters and how it protects individuals, families, and communities. Micha, welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you again.
It's great to see you again. Hey, I have to admit, I've never seen Law Day cards at Hallmark. So can you just give us a little bit more about what does it represent?
Sure. So Law Day celebrates the rule of law. That means the rights and responsibilities that we all have here in the United States. And it reminds us of our freedoms and that they depend on a fair and balanced legal system that protects everybody equally.
Well, how does that work then? How does the law protect the liberties that sometimes we just all take for granted?
It's true. We do a lot of times. And that's why it's important to think about those rights and to remember that we have these rights that we sometimes take for granted. So our laws establish the rights and the responsibilities and protections that keep society functioning fairly. Attorneys help people understand and defend those rights when challenges to those rights arise.
Yeah. Mike, I worked all my career in media, newspapers, and now in television. So the First Amendment right to me is very important, and I talk about it, but it's something I can't deal with if that goes to legal matters. And that's where it's important, isn't it, for people like you, for attorneys, to help us maintain all that justice and that fairness with our laws?
That's right. And those are all the civil rights that we all have here in the United States as citizens and immigrants. So, you know, the lawyers can advocate for individuals or a group of individuals or businesses just to make sure that the rules of law, the laws, are applied properly and to help us resolve disputes amongst each other in a way that upholds justice and accountability.
Yeah. Mike, there's always talk in the news about what's going on in the legal world, especially the Supreme Court and even local laws and that sort of thing. So I'm sure there's a lot of mixed messages out there, a lot of gossip, people talking that have got it all wrong. So what message would you like viewers to take away on Law Day?
Well, I would just love for everyone to take a moment and reflect on their rights and responsibilities. You know, we all go through our lives every day, not even thinking about the rights that have been granted and how we can protect them so they don't get taken away. It's really empowering to understand what laws apply to you, what rights you have. And I think when people are informed about the law, they're better able to protect themselves and their families and their future.
Yeah, but Mike, a lot of us, I mean, we weren't educated like you were in the law, and we sort of say, well, are my rights being infringed on, or are they not? I'm questioning it. Should the first step be contact a lawyer and just ask that question?
Absolutely. And we get a lot of calls like that in terms of civil rights claims, potential civil rights claims, interactions with government authority, employment questions. Yeah, we don't expect, regular folk out there who are just living their lives to know what all their rights and responsibilities are. So we're more than happy to have exploratory calls and just conversations. I feel like it's part of our duty to keep citizens informed. So we're happy to chat through those questions and issues. And
it's a big mistake that many people make, feeling like, oh, I can take care of it myself. I mean, if I've got a tooth that's hurting, I don't pull my own tooth. I go to the dentist. So if people have a problem, shouldn't they just go to an attorney and so that they don't make all those mistakes that could ruin their case?
Yeah, and that's the reality of it. Half the time when we get those calls, it's too late because arguments have been made or courts have made decisions that impact the person calling, and it does become too late. The other thing people should be mindful of is most claims have a specific time period that they're valid for. So we get a lot of calls where someone would have had a very righteous case, but the time has passed to bring that claim. So That's another reason why it's important to talk to someone who can explain those kinds of procedural issues with you.
Well, to learn more about Micha Star Liberty and the team at Liberty Law, visit libertylaw.com. Micha, thank you again for helping us better understand the law. I know it's very confusing for a lot of people, and I always feel more comforted when we've talked about the law. So thanks for being here, and thanks for protecting us.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for celebrating this fun day with all of us lawyers.